Hey folks, Jonathan here, working on cleaning up the flathead. I am going to get this cleaned up, and we're going to pull the pan and reseal it, and possibly try to put a rear seal in. See what kind of Scott's rope seal or what. I'm sure it is. And then the valley pans under the intake, we're going to reseal them. And I think that's about it. My only worries with leaks, front seal's not bad to do if you have to in the vehicle, but I didn't see where it had been leaking around it much. You know, there wasn't no oil buildup or anything. So anyway, so we'll just get the major stuff here, and definitely the oil pan, and like I said, hopefully the rear seal. But anyway, you know, this is going to go in the 31.5 window. I just wanted to do sort of a little poll here. You know, we're putting the 5-speed behind it, and the car's already got a 6-cylinder with a 5-speed. But my question is do I checkerboard the firewall or not? I'd like to spray the car flat black or primer black or maybe primer red, like the oxidized primer. That'd be pretty neat. And then we got to figure out what color to paint the engine. I found a green on it, almost like a army green. Well, I don't see much of it on there. A little bit of mixed off green, but there's some bright green somebody had painted on the water outlets. I don't think that's right at all, but anyway, tell me what you think about that. But we just cleaned up, and we'll get it down where I can show you something else on it. Okay, so maybe you can see the green a little better now, and let's see, there's the darker green, which I don't like. And you can see they ran it down. I don't know why they painted them for, unless somebody replaced them maybe. And maybe the ones that was on it was rusted or something. But anyway, I may go back green with the paint. The only thing is if I paint it back green, I don't think it'll look good with a checkerboard firewall. But then again, maybe it would. I don't know. You can let me know your opinion on that. And let me see, a couple other things here. One thing is the exhaust. I have seen people build headers and come down around over top of the heads. I don't want to do that. Matter of fact, I want to use the ceramic exhaust manifolds because that's part of what makes this engine to me. So my plan is to cap it here. This is where the single exhaust came out. And I want to take off this crossover tube that runs across, and I'll make some flanges, and I'll just bring one pipe up and down, and we'll do dual exhaust like that. And that'll free up some area up here for what I plan to do with the carburetor. Okay. The issue with that, okay, just like a flathead Ford, you know, they made aftermarket performance parts for these engines. So the problem is the cheapest intake I can find, which turns out to be a two-barrel Edmund intake, is $2,000, and they go on up to, you know, $3,000, $3,500, depending on what, I guess, what style it is and what era it is and what make it is. I'm not spending $2,000 for manifold. It's just not going to happen, period. And then heads, same way, you know, a couple $1,000, and I'm not doing that. So this engine is going to get painted up, and as bad as I really didn't want to, I bought another adapter, and I'll show it to you. Okay, so here is the adapter I bought, and it's like my other one. This just happens to be a 4-bolt, where the other one was a 3-bolt Stromberg, and this was probably actually made for a 4-bolt Stromberg. We're going to use Rochesters on it, and I'll probably do some boring to open this up some. I don't like the way it's closed in like that, but we can do some changes. It's not a big deal. Now this is not an original. This is a reproduction. Now these usually sell for $100 a piece, and I happened to catch one on there that somebody had bought and decided, I guess, not to use. It's never been mounted. They wanted $60 for it, so I bought it. And so I think I got a decent deal on it. So when we take this crossover pipe off, that's going to leave us to where we can put that on and run 2 carburetors. And this one sits a lot lower because you don't have that third bolt in the center to have to get in under. They're down here on the side. So it shouldn't look too bad on here. And like I said, I'm not spending $2,000 for an intake manifold. I would rather run something like this. I just like motor carbs because I just, I like working on them, but to get them right. But I like to just like the looks of them, and something to do, something to play with. And I think it'll work out really well. It's going to be a good engine for our 31, and you know, you can, like I said, everybody give me their opinion on what they think on the on paint. Whether I can flat black it, I could, you know, with like a black primer. I could gray primer, red primer, and then I can paint the engine whatever color, and you know, do the firewall in checkerboard, or just, you know, leave it alone and not do anything to it. So I don't know. We'll figure it out, but just wanted to show everybody what was going on here, and I'm going to show you a couple things on the Roadster. Alright, so you'll have to excuse the pollen. This is actually in the shop. That's how bad that stuff is. It blows in the doors and everything else. I mean, you can't stop it, so we'll just have to clean it out. But I wish I'd have had a cover over it, but I just never thought about it. Didn't think it was going to blow in here that bad. But anyway, so a couple things. One thing, I know a lot of people wanted the 8-ball in there, and I actually wanted the 8-ball too, but the 8-ball is, believe it or not, just about twice the diameter as that ball. And I'm so close on room in this thing, I just didn't want to put it in there because I didn't want it hitting my leg or whoever's leg was on the other side. And somebody said that they knew I wasn't going to finish this thing. Well, I'm still finishing it. You know, I mentioned about selling it, but I didn't say I wasn't going to finish it before I sold it. So, you know, whatever. All right, I'm going to actually we'll take this seat out, and I'm going to sit on the floor, and I'm going to do some checking and see if it's feasible for me to even try to make this thing to where I'm comfortable and happy with it. I don't want to make this into a, you know, a kidney buster, and then you know, plan to ride it around. I want it to be nice and comfortable, and it is. But like I said, I'm up higher than I want to be. And I know there's a lot of cars like that, and I've seen a lot like that, a lot of T-buckets and stuff like that, but I just don't like it. So I'm not going to do it. All right, so we've got to have this thing up to date on turn signals, horn, you know, of course, brake lights and everything. And when it comes to the safety, we had to have the seat belts, because this is going to get inspected as a 2020 custom, and that's what it'll be titled as. And we're working on finishing up paperwork and stuff for that now. But windshield wiper, I needed one, so I bought this Model T style, which is hand operated. And I think what we'll do is build a piece that'll go on top of the windshield and slide over and make this to where it'll work, and we can put it up this way, and that will be good enough. You know, we have no intentions to drive this in the rain anyway, but that will cover us for a windshield wiper. It said it's got to have one, didn't say it had to be electric. So anyway, but that's about it with this right now. I've got to pick up some hardboard to finish up the door panels and stuff on the driver's side here, and I don't really care to run the lows. We're gonna try to do our part on the staying away from everybody, and see how this works out. See if we can't, you know, unfortunately it's going to be, you know, probably 15 days to a month, I guess, before things get back to normal. Well, I don't even know if that'll happen, but anyway, my point is we're going to try to stay away. I'm going to keep making videos and make as many as I can, and I'll probably try to do something every day, a little bit of a video anyway. Transmission deal, why I haven't done any more on the adapter on it is because I found and am going to get another S10 transmission. Now, the reason I'm doing that, this transmission I'm using for mock-up is no good. It sat with water inside of it for years, evidently. Somebody had gave that transmission to me, and so it's no good. So what I did was I I cut the shaft off of it anyway to use as a lineup tool, so it was no big deal. I'm just using it for the bolt pattern and location for the shifter and stuff. Now this shifter here is on the back of the transmission, it's way back. But the way that I've done the other car, the way I've done the floorboard shifter, is an S10 style, it's up farther. And I want to keep it that way. I want to keep the same transmission, but my problem is when I put it in behind that Chevrolet, I had to shorten the pilot shaft at the front. And I can still use it in our Cadillac engine, but it's going to be a lot easier if I get another one that hasn't been cut. And because there's a lot of length there that I need to make up for. And so the reason for getting another one is because it won't have already been cut. So I finally found one and should have it here the first of the week. We'll work on getting the clutch and getting, you know, everything bolted up right, and we're going to go ahead and get the intake on our engine. Pull the pan probably first, but we'll get our little intake adapter on and get another carburetor on the way. Hopefully I can find another matching one off of eBay, and we'll probably set up the same way as this one with a primary and then the other one is a secondary. So, and I, like I said, I just like the looks of it and stuff. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.